At the time when you were in that relationship, because that's what it was at the time, but I mean, I know it wasn't, maybe legally appropriate, but when you entered it, was it a voluntary relationship or did it seem like one at the time?
Yeah, at the time, but since then I've received a year of treatment where I got counseling every day, and they helped me see it differently. That when I was in treatment, I was 17, 18 years old, which was about the same age as John was at the time, and I wouldn't think it was right to have a child with a 13, 14-year-old when I was 18 or 19. And I don't see why he didn't see it the way that I saw it at the age he was. And even to this day, he still denies that he should have known better. And I mean, I probably should have known better too, but I see it that he was the adult in that situation, and he was the one that had to go to jail, and he was the one that should have been responsible to make the better decision. And in treatment, they told me that I shouldn't feel feel responsible for something that he should have been responsible for, because it was actually his idea to have a child because he knew he was going to jail.
What would you do if you went to Petersburg? Because you'd been there in the past.
Yeah, I lived there. I grew up there. I'd have to figure it out.
We actually have a house there.
Yeah, they do a house there. Yeah.
We would be forced, though, to make that decision as opposed to having to have our own timing for it, such as if we said, oh, we might like to go over there this summer or next spring, as opposed to being forced to go maybe within the next month, or next 2 weeks. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow with this motion in place.
And I actually did move there with Jonathan a while back, and his dad didn't want to be involved with him very much. He didn't see him at all after we had lived there for a while. He didn't want to see him or visit or anything. So I'm afraid that same thing's gonna happen.
Yeah, that was a year ago, and as far as I know, he hasn't really made contact, even called for the entire time.
Yeah.
But he gave the illusion to the court that they're trying to get visits and so forth, and that we're blocking them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the opposition to the motion was mostly about, that we're waiting on.
And I have a question for you, Angelica. It's kind of not accusatory, but I'm just wondering, because I've heard a lot from your dad about, how important this is, and he's been talking to people in the legislature and all of that, and it seems really grandpa driven, and I'm just wondering how much of, what's happening is you, and how much of a push you're making to make sure he stays here and that he's close to you. How would you describe that?
Well, honestly, the whole situation is really stressful. Just not so much stressful, but brings up the past that I don't like having to be put in the court situation for what had happened, and it's caused me a lot of emotional problems, and just know that my parents, mostly my dad, have been taking care of the most of the legal part. I will talk to my lawyer here and there, and basically do like what I need to do for the court, but it's just really I don't know the word to use, but I was actually diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder recently, and it's just hard for me to have to deal with any of that stuff that's going on. So.
And do you think it's okay to label John, you know, although legally he is like a rapist, and say because of that all of his rights should be taken away as a parent?
Yeah, I do. I think that he knew what he was doing at the time, and I would think that he would do the same thing today if, you know, if the situation was the same. I don't, he says that he didn't do anything wrong. He doesn't see anything wrong with what he did, and I believe he would, you know, he would do the same thing again today. So I don't feel like I'll ever have any more kids, and oh, I'm sorry. I'll be right back.